Hi and welcome to another Gate.io experience. Ruby here. For today, let's debunk a few common Bitcoin myths. We will also answer the most frequently asked and ridiculous myths about Bitcoin. One of the most common misconceptions about Bitcoin is that it's nothing more than a giant, stinky, gas-floating bubble ready to burst at any given moment. When, in reality, it's more like a marshmallow, suspended in the air, waiting to be enjoyed by all those with a sweet tooth for digital currency. The reason why many people think that Bitcoin is a bubble is because some investors who buy and hold it tend to get high returns. The time frame to obtain profitable returns depends on the existing market conditions. Conversely, investors may generate losses if the value of Bitcoin tumbles. Whatever the situation may be, it does not qualify BTC as a bubble waiting to burst. True bubbles are in fact economic cycles with high and unsustainable price increases. In this case, the realized value of the asset is much higher than its fundamental value. This does not apply for Bitcoin. Unlike traditional economic bubbles, BTC rose from 2009 at under $1 to over $69,000 in a span of 12 years. The constant growth in its price resulted from its wider adoption over time. For example, many institutional investors have acquired and hold BTC. Moreover, there are two countries such as El Salvador and the Central African Republic which have adopted BTC as legal tender. Another tall tale about Bitcoin is that it is completely anonymous, like a person walking around with a bag over their head and a flower in their hand. But the truth is that it's not quite as stealthy as some people would have you believe. In reality, it's more like a person walking around with a bag on their head that says Bitcoin on it, and everyone can see it. The reason for this assumption is that people use wallet addresses when making transactions, not their real names. They believe that since people use their private and public keys when sending or receiving BTC, their identities can never be known. Nevertheless, there are several ways of identifying the identities of owners of the different wallet addresses, plus their BTC transactions they make. For example, many people purchase BTC using their credit cards or bank transfers. Through this, relevant authorities can identify the wallet owners and the BTC transactions they make. In other words, some service providers know their identities but keep them a secret. Also, there are certain DeFi and other crypto platforms that require individuals to verify their identities through providing their national identity registrations or passport details. In addition, there are blockchain analysis tools such as Elliptic which track the movement of digital assets, such as BTC, on the blockchain. They are able to identify the identities of certain wallet holders through their tracking systems. People often think of Bitcoin as a currency that's only used for shady and criminal activities, but that's nothing more than a big, fat myth. Sure, it might have been used for some shady dealings in the past, but that's no different from regular old fiat money. Certain people criticize Bitcoin due to the fact that some criminal elements in the world use it for illegal activities, such as purchasing and selling drugs. They also point out the existence of the dark web with illegal marketplaces, where people use BTC as means of payment. In reality, Bitcoin can be used for all sorts of legitimate activities, from buying a cup of coffee to purchasing a luxury car. So don't believe the fake news and wild rumors. Bitcoin is just as legitimate as the dollar. Interestingly, these criminals also use many assets and equipment. For example, terrorists use mobile phones, vehicles, and bank accounts to carry out their activities. Therefore, it is not Bitcoin which is bad, but the criminals who use different assets and currencies to pursue their criminal motives. The truth about Bitcoin is that many people around the world use it for charity and other developmental projects, including fundraising for startups. In practice, using BTC makes it convenient for people to donate to individuals in countries that need help. After all, it is important to remember that a report by blockchain forensic companies FDD and Elliptic conclude that less than 1% of all Bitcoin transactions are used in illegal activities. The old chestnut that Bitcoin doesn't have any value. What a joke. Ha ha ha. Of course it does. It's like saying that the Mona Lisa isn't worth anything because you don't like to look at it. It's a ridiculous notion. Bitcoin is a valuable asset, and its worth has been steadily increasing for years. So next time someone tries to tell you that Bitcoin isn't worth anything, just give them a Mona Lisa smile, and remember that its value has been holding steady and strong for the past 12 years.